Be like the buffalo. Be like the bison. Good day, everyone. I'm Pastor K with Hope from His Word, here to share some insights on the buffalo and the butterfly, and maybe even an albatross here. Now, it's very interesting when you look at these animals. And I'm going to talk first about the buffalo, and many speakers have touched on this and crafted some amazing messages on this. But one key thing that separates the buffalo from a lot of animals is that they face the storm when it starts to come towards them. They see a storm coming, they see a storm rolling in, whether it be a ice storm or whatever kind of storm, and they face it and they begin to move along towards the storm. Many believe that their instincts tell them that they will get through the storm if they'll face towards it, and knowing that the quickest way through it is to actually go through it. Butterflies are also a migrating animal. Even though they are quite small, they travel great distances. In North America, they travel up to 3,000 miles, going from Canada and go all the way down to Mexico. And in Africa, they can travel up to 9,000 miles, going between Africa and Europe. And here's another interesting thing we talk about the albatrosses, is that they're one of the birds that spend the most time at sea. They can spend up to 2-3 years being out sea before eating, drinking, resting on the water before they even go back to land at times. And what do all of these have in common? I really believe that God was putting this all together, that it comes through Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. That everything there is a season, a time for every activity under the sun. I believe these animals have to realize the season that they're in, and they have to realize that there is the one that holds them for a season. It may not be forever. Buffalo knows that if there's a storm coming, all right, the best way to get through it is to face it. It's not going to be forever. It may sting in this moment, but it will be something that I can get through if I have the strength to face it. I think the butterflies know. I mean, can you imagine being so little? I don't even know if they have the concept, but butterfly goes through so much changes in its life, from being a caterpillar to being a butterfly, and then they get the instincts to fly all these great distances for survival, and all they know is that I'm doing this and I'm following others, and hopefully it'll be good. But to imagine flying that far and hoping where you get to in the end will matter and be good, that takes the trust of a butterfly that doesn't know anything other than trusting its instincts. And the same with the albatross. It has to know that, its purpose at sea will be fine. All these animals, all the animals that have to trust that God will provide what they need for it. That they have to trust the season that they're in. They have a bad day, they got to trust that tomorrow will be a better day. I mean, they have nothing else but to trust in, but in that. And it brings me up some points to think about. Is that there is a reason for the season that we find ourselves in. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, whether it be difficult, whether it be frustrating, whether it be filled with hope, whether we feel like we've known hope. There's a reason for it. And God uses it to stretch us. God uses it to fill our tanks back up. God gives it to us to reveal who He is in our life. And we have the concept kind of, I think, separate from other animals of like, oh my gosh, look how much I'm in danger. But it gives us an opportunity that says that even though I'm in a difficult place and in a frustrating place, I am filled with so much hope. See, God can make the purpose through the pain. He uses all these examples in the world and through these animals for us to look to, and through the situations in our life to look to, even in the past, and say, you know what? God is able, and God can use every part of my life. I've used this term a lot, and I think it's important for us to remember when we face every day, is that God has gotten us through 100% of the days and the trials we've faced. And we got to give Him all the glory. We got to give Him all the praise for that, because He's able to do exceedingly more. And that's the closing verse that I want to say. Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. To him be the glory. And that comes from Ephesians 3:20-21. So that's my prayer, is that we find the joy in today, because God holds us in today, and God gives us the peace in the day. And he makes all these things work out for our good. We don't understand why we're in the stretching, in the difficult place. And if you're in a good place, then we can praise God, because the days haven't always been like that. So we should take the days that feel good, that the days that are filled with joy, and give God all the glory. He's in everything, and he gives it, and we should give him the praise and everything. So I pray that encourages you today. I pray that finds you with hope. And we just go, and we'll see you guys next week. Go, be blessed. Love you guys.